this issue of P0LICE death. My very respected good friend Anas has lost somebody dear to him, and according to those close to him, he's finding it difficult to, come to terms with the situation. Kennedy Japan, no doubt, is also a very close friend. So these are two gentlemen I've known Anas for over 20 years. I've known Kennedy since 2008 and all that. I don't want to, with respect, make a legal argument on this matter for very good reasons. All I would want to say is that the statement from the NDC, which last week I relied upon.
And commended them.
Yes, I did. I did. That let's not allow for scapegoating, but there could be some more sinister plan. Let's allow the police to go. That was why I got a bit surprised that my respected colleague, but that is his choice. Maybe internally, they then realized that this approach will not help for political gains. So let us hit. It's their right as opposition. But the bottom line is that we need an investigation. The investigation ought to be done. The police must be allowed to look into the matter and come out and get those who actually perpetrated the crime. You see, in this morning's debate, the way I expected James to go, when it is law, deal with the law. When it's politics, deal with politics. When we need to agree. You saw me getting closer to him when there was an issue of law. I said, James, the issue that Martin raised on Jobu Diopadi, I think is on a thin line. Let's try and do some justice there. That was how I was expecting James to approach it. He's been a deputy interior minister before. But in Yana's case, he would say that, successive government be commended. When it gets to issue of murder, killing, robbery, he says, this government is to blame. There is insecurity, but not the successive government. He's been in office for 8 years, but they are not liable. Nothing was undone. Everything has happened in this. This was fine. It's okay to politicize issues the way you want to politicize them. But you see, he does not have a policeman. I don't have a policeman. We are members of parliament. Kennedy Japan drives by himself. I drive. He drives. We should encourage the system in a positive light so that you don't create that artificial insecurity. Today we are commending Kandapa. Yes, at least in my constituency, I know the behind-the-scenes work this man has done to give me some peace of mind in a Futu. I know. And I know the behind-the-scenes work this man has done as a member of the Defense and Interior Committee. That is done to bring peace in other parts of this country. So yes, it's okay to say, crime rates has gone up and the numbers are this to score your political point. But look at the national interest. Should the police be allowed to do their work? If you want to politicize it, then you give way for the scapegoating. If you want somebody to be arrested, look, when we were at the law school, we had so many stories. I have done criminal trial practice for many parts of my practice.
The law he has brought up, and this is also one area of your practice you just admitted. Martin, we know, he's actually gone to the Supreme Court and won certain victories for us in this direction about improving the criminal jurisprudence. The question to you is, Martin is clear in his mind that James is wrong. What do you say?
No, he should say he disagrees. No, he said that. He should say that.
Yeah, wait. That's actually your legal advisor.
You should say that. You should say you disagree with him.
Here,
that aspect of his wrong, I disagree with him.
So here,
say you disagree with him.
Okay, right. So here, on the basis of his section 21, and perhaps what I have, sought to point out in addition, Section 13.1, Section 11.1, which Section 13.1, 11.1 would mean that Ken would have intentionally used the involuntary agent to cause the event. And then when you go to 21, 21A, 21A, let me just read that so that you will now hear you. A part of 21A says that the abettor is punishable for the abatement of the crime, of the criminal offense, which the abettor intended to abet in the manner provided in this chapter with respect to the abatement of Criminal Offences Act, which are not actually committed. So you can intend something, it was not actually committed, and you are still guilty for it. What do you say? This radio and TV, the radio is humming.
Yes, and of course the
so
TV
feel
is
the air, feel the air.
Yeah, sure. You know he was making a political statement in his press conference. He wasn't making a legal statement. I don't see how a political statement should suddenly turn into a legal debate. I already have told you that the two gentlemen involved in this, Anas, Kennedy, are good friends. I would want to refrain from engaging in serious legal debate on this matter. So if Martin is talking about the law, and he is suddenly trying to talk about the law when he knows he's doing politics, exactly. I will advise him to allow the police to do their work.
Okay.
We should be mindful of the family.
Okay, since you won't talk about that.
Sympathies to the family. We should give them some peace.
Okay.
So that we don't unnecessarily get this politicized.
So let me get the family.
You've not expressed your condolences.
Right.
He has not expressed it in this press conference. He did not even express condolence to the family. Where is it? No, this is the statement, not what he said. What did you say?
Thank you.
What did you say?
Let's hear
Did you
Dr.
express loudly?
Let me pick it out. Dr. Obi, let's hear you.
Apologize to what? Did you express your condolence?
What do you say? What do you think the police ought to be doing, or that they are not doing? Quickly. Quickly. Thank you.
I really think that no Ghanaian, I'm just going on an ordinary man's approach, no Ghanaian must step out of his house thinking that I am not sure whether I'll come back home or not, or the family thinking that my father, my uncle, my brother is going out and he's unlikely to come back. I think that is a primary principle that as Ghanaians we should always yearn for. And again, not being a lawyer, I'm sure I'm unable to pronounce on the criminal liabilities of anybody. So that one, I won't go there. But for me, as leaders of a country, we need to be circumspect with what we say, because we as followers, we follow sometimes the utterances of our leaders. So a little bit of a recklessness could cause, kind of interpretation and misinterpretation, because the laws are interpreted by lawyers, not by ordinary people. The ordinary people just think in a common sense way. Exactly. And so I would suggest to our leaders, including myself in a certain small way, that we should be circumspect, because little recklessness, and I saw that statement by His Excellency, the former President Ll.Ers, little recklessness can lead to an unintended consequences. It is perhaps not the intention of Honorable Kennedy Japan to see this end, but for a statement that has been made and what has happened, it is appearing that what he said, somebody will say, my mouth be gone. But, when you draw a gun, some people would explain that this is the issue. But I think we should allow the law to take its course. Sometimes, and then again, we should allow the police to undertake their investigations and have confidence in them to be doing that.
Are you in any doubt that Ahmed's killing is a contract killing?
It has to be established because to say yes or no might be a little bit, taking a certain side. Okay. But I believe that it must be established. And I also believe that we have to have respect for the families, which the deceased family. It's very, very